Generally, what we do is not breaking the law. It might be breaking a social norm or someone's retail store policy, but generally the cops can't really do anything. The type of reactions that we want to get would be laughter, maybe breaking somebody out of their daily routine to notice something unusual or something exciting.
All of these crazy spaces throughout New York can be really inspiring and challenging to artists. And I've seen what can happen when you show a dance company a bank vault as a rehearsal space. At first they might not know what to do with that, but then a lot of times they embrace it and come out of that with something completely different than they would have if you'd given them, you know, a 1,400 square foot dance studio with mirrors and beautiful floors. We take advantage of the vast resources of the downtown real estate community and match artist projects and artists who need that space with this vacant real estate that is otherwise, you know, going unused.
The LMCC contacted me and said that we want to create a piece for the Art and Recovery Program, which was a sort of post 9/11, re-infusing Lower Manhattan with artwork. And we created a piece called 1 Million Forgotten Moments. The audience would sit in the window, but we would construct a lavish little jewel box theater inside of the window for the audience to sit in looking out at the street. And I would make an open call to artists and not refuse anyone that wanted to be involved. Suddenly the street, because you're looking at it through this frame, is a completely different place than what you're used to. There was a bus stop right in front of the show, and the bus was pulling by. And there was this moment where this guy was running for the bus and he missed it. It was tragic, you know, it was this New York tragedy that happened.
I put an ad saying, if you want to see our show, which I ended up calling Inhabitat, get it? It was in our house, so we called it Inhabitat, that you would have to show up on the corner of LaGuardia Place and 3rd Street, and you would be taken to see this show, Inhabitat. So this friend who had a truck would show up every night at 7:30. The audience would get into the truck, and there was no windows in the truck, and they would go across the Brooklyn Bridge, and they'd be let out in front of my brownstone, and then the audience came in, went all around the house, and the scenes took place in all the different rooms, and the final scene happened in the big kitchen, where they actually finally got to sit down. And what happened is that show became a little cult hit. And actually, John Cage came to see the show, and he loved it. And he told all his friends about it. And he would say things like, the sound of the dogs barking while the scene's happening inside, the dogs outside. And I thought, God, I wasn't interested in the dogs. I just want to be in a theater. Then I got the reputation for doing what we now call site-specifics. And for a long time, we did it in all kinds of interesting places. And as a director, if you can learn how to work with real architecture later on when you're working with scenic design, it's very helpful. I mean, to this day, I love theaters because you can control so much more. But at the same time, I find site-specific work is really important to go back to because it's like the DNA in which my work continues to happen.
I think like doing a stunt in public with an audience that doesn't necessarily know they're an audience is you know, the feedback is very different than being on stage with people who have paid to come in and laugh and be entertained. You're stepping into an environment and you don't know what the results are going to be. I had 80 people put on blue polo shirts and khaki pants, and then we went into the Best Buy on 23rd Street. And the Best Buy management dialed 911, and the police showed up and basically just informed them like it's not illegal for people to wear blue polo shirts and khaki pants. New York City is definitely the best place to be doing what I'm doing. It's a wonderful stage.